MICA is the world of its own, where you try to experience the rush of life, the warmth of friends like family, the competition around, the craziness of living in the hostel for the very first time, and the pressure of maintaining a balance between your personal and professional life, and the numerous deadlines we get in a day. First few months of MICA have been like a roller coaster ride for me, where we all had our various ups and downs, but it's a new learning experience every day. Every day at MICA, we learn something which we were totally unaware of. Every day, we get to look at different things with a new perspective. It is a place where our left and right brains meet. So, as the days passed, I got to learn things which I was totally unaware of. Somewhere, I have become a more organized person. I have started to look at different things in a different way. I value time, friendships, family, work more. Thank you, MICA, for everything.
Let's start. Okay, hi guys. I am Aarushi Agrawal, and with me there's Kirti Jain, who's my roommate from MICA, and I'm very glad that you're here, Kirti. And I'm very happy. Hi. Finally, we are making this video. This was a long. We have planned it so long back, but finally we are doing this. I'm glad. So, how are you, Kirti?
Yeah. I am good. How are you? How are you all?
I hope everyone is good and they are keeping good care of themselves, and especially in COVID. So I hope everybody is doing really well. Okay, so let's start. So basically in this video, I'll just give a brief intro of what all we are going to cover. Oh, before that, let's just first introduce ourselves. So I am Aarushi Agrawal, and currently I'm working with IPC as Assistant Manager Projects, and I'm a MICA 2018-20 batch. And except that, I like to do a lot of blogging and all, and I'm an Instagram influencer. And with me, I have Kirti.
Hi everybody. So as Aarushi correctly mentioned that we were roommates at MICA. So I'm also a 2018-20 pass out from MICA, and currently I'm working at Amazon in the Amazon advertising team as an account manager in ad sales for emerging brands. And yeah, we've both been very truly passionate about MICA, and we are very glad that we could do this video for you guys so that you can also experience what we did in the 2 years that we were there.
Yes, I'm sure that it was a very amazing journey and people should know about it. So let's just start. So before starting, I'll just like to tell everybody what all areas are we going to cover in this particular video. So first of all, we are going to talk about MICAT and the different sections which MICAT has, and what exactly people should take care while preparing for those specific sections, and also about how we at our times did in the sections and what were our experiences and learnings. Second part would be regarding the campus life. So basically how fun MICA is, what were our experiences, and especially such typical roommate things we like to share with you all. And third is a rapid fire round, which Kirti and I will have the fun questions plus a lot of questions which people have asked to us. So we like to address all of them here. Okay, cool. So let's start. So coming to the specific sections, Kirti, would you like to take that?
Yeah, sure. So guys, as you all are aware that before giving MICAT, it is very important that first you've completed your undergraduation or in your third year, and second you've taken any competitive exam like CAT or XAT, and then you'll be eligible for MICAT. And as you're aware that MICAT is upcoming on 23rd of January. So to prepare that, there are various sections that is there in a typical MICAT paper. So we will take you section wise. Now, Arshi, would you like to take them through the first section, which is psychometric, which is again a qualifier?
Yes. So psychometric is very necessary. Like all of you who are giving this exam will have to take care that there are 150 questions in psychometric test, and you are allotted 30 minutes for that. And basically, one thing which you guys should actually take care of is that you cannot just not be yourself. Just answer all the questions in a way that what you actually think about it. Don't spend too much time thinking that it is an algorithm based or something where you can answer it accordingly. No. So that is the first section. Second is the descriptive section. So Kirti, would you like to take them through the descriptive section?
Yes. So guys, the descriptive section basically has 4 questions. So the usual pattern in our time was that you were given one topic for which you had to write 4, and then also you had to give your points against the topic, and then the third question used to be to summarize whatever you think in your opinion. So be mindful of this, and it's okay, you can give your I think answers. Like the strategy that I applied for this, I gave all my points in bullet points so that it was quicker and easier for me also to add to that. And the fourth question that you will have is that you will get 4 pictures, and you have to basically connect all the 4 pictures and present a story. Now the most important thing to keep in mind over here is that you need not be very don't take a lot of stress as to how you're going to connect all the 4 pictures. The most important part over here is if you're able to build some context for the 4 pictures. It may not be a main part of your story, it can also be in the background, but make sure that your story is logical, it is coherent, it is complete. Use some of your creativity. And also I think the most important thing to keep in mind is that it's not necessary to be very fancy and use a lot of jargons in your story. It can be a very simple, you can use very simple language to write that. It just should uh, give out whatever message that you're trying to give out. Otherwise, just take it easy. For that, I would recommend that you look at random, connect 4 objects that you see around you, take any 4 pictures that you would want to, and practice to type. Why I would recommend typing, because a lot of people are quick at writing, but it's very important that you are able to type your story in that limited time that you have for this section. Yeah.
Right. Right. That's one of the very important point. Like, because I also remember when I was giving my CAT, there were a lot of people who just like, I was just liking the sound of typing at that point of time. Everybody's like, tish, 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 and that was very exciting for me. I'm like, whoa, this is some different exam where people are so enthusiastic
Exactly.
about it. But yeah, before we proceed, I would just like to give you one example, guys. Like, I would like to tell you what came in our descriptive at that point of time. So the 4 objects which we were given is, I remember, one was a tunnel which was there. Second was a highway point. Third was something like a space, and
There
fourth
was a
was,
ball also, I think.
yeah, the fourth
There
was
was
a
a
ball.
ball.
Yeah, I was coming to that. The fourth was a cricket ball, and I
Yeah.
remember the story I made. So I had made a story about a guy who used to live near the highway. So that point of highway was covered, and a
Yeah.
person who was really enthusiastic about cricket but was not getting enough time to practice and enough space for practicing, because he always used to think that he's living near the highway. There's so much of traffic. He was not able to practice much. But then there was one fine day, one fine night, he had a dream where a tunnel was calling him, and when he passed that, he reached a point where it was all an open area, the kind of play field which he always dreamt of, where he can do all of his practices and everything. And that point of time, he got so enthusiastic that he actually was batting, and a ball went into the space, and then suddenly the alarm clock rang. And that point of time, he realized that it's not always necessary that you should have all the enough resources for practicing or for pursuing your dreams. You can just do it anywhere. So from next day, he started practicing there only, and one day he became a great cricket person and everything. So I remember that was the story I wrote. So it's not like that I was
Yeah.
explicitly mentioning, yeah, I know it's a fun story, but that time I could only think of that in those
No, but
particular.
that's good. Actually, you included all the objects that were
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and you did not actually make them the main characters. It was just there in the background, whereas
yes.
you simply
I made a boy
connected
the
all of
main character
Yeah.
whose life was revolving
Exactly.
around those 4 objects, and somehow they were able to connect also. And so that's what I'm trying to tell to everyone, that it's not very necessary that you like are actually throwing up so many a lot of jargons. I did not do that. There was not a time where I was making highway the main thing or ball the main thing. I just kept them in background and let the
Yeah.
story be the hero. So yeah, okay.
Also, guys, remember you will have 25 minutes for this section, so just be mindful of the time whenever you're practicing also.
Yes, so ensure that you are able to do it in 5 minutes. I've also, so I remember I was talking to one of the aspirants, MICA aspirants. What he has done is he has read all the story frameworks. Like there are some 20 frameworks which he has read.
Okay.
And what he was telling is what he's going to do is after the kind of story frameworks are there, he'll just incorporate one of them after seeing the 4 images. So that is one of the method which people can study. It's not necessary that you implement, but you prepared for it. Guys, coming to the third section of MICAT, it generally has 4 parts. One of them is verbal ability, second is quantitative reasoning, third is general awareness, and fourth is divergent convergent reasoning. So now coming to the verbal ability, you guys can actually do if you guys have prepared enough for say CAT, XAT or GMAT. It is very in lines with what we generally prepare for CAT, GMAT and XAT, so you don't have to do any extra preparations for it. But yeah, obviously reading comprehensions and parajumble are mostly what is covered in verbal ability questions. Now coming to quant also, so basically if you guys have prepared enough for CAT and all, you don't have to do any additional preparations. You guys will be able to do it very easily. Okay. Now the third one is general awareness. So obviously for that you actually have to read news daily. But one thing which I would actually like to mention in general awareness is that in MICA, because we are a college where branding, marketing are our core. So because of that, a lot of questions are related to the current affairs and current campaigns in terms of what a particular brand has done recently or what a particular digital marketing campaign might look like. So for that, we would suggest that you should actually follow a lot of pages related to marketing on Instagram. For example, Madovo marketing is there, marketingmind.in is there. You can obviously follow that. And there's a website called AFAQ. You can obviously read the articles about the current brands and campaigns there. So that would really help you. Now,
is basically divergent and convergent reasoning. Now, basically in this section, what is the most important part that you will have to cover is word association. So I think around 10 questions on word associations comes. There are again a lot of material online on Google as well. You can solve MICA sample papers on the website to get an understanding of what this is. So if you practice a lot, this is easier to crack, and you get a lot of marks as well. And you will also get questions around visual reasoning to complete a pattern, or creating a sequence. You can get statement conclusion sort of questions in this section of MICAT paper. And again, like Aarushi mentioned, in general awareness, of course, I mean, marketing related things will be covered. I don't think in our time a lot of static GK questions were asked. It was mainly around current affairs only. So read up about that. You can regularly read up the editorial sections of the newspapers as well, to enhance again your reading skills and again getting to know more about what is happening currently. And just to add one more point in quant, so I don't think the section will be as difficult as you got in CAT and XAT. I mean, the questions in quant are comparatively easier. So the catch over here to crack is that you have 80 questions that you need to solve in 80 minutes. So you won't get much time on a question. So just structure your attempt well, where you focus more on your strengths and focus more on questions sections which you feel are easier to crack in terms of getting more and more marks.
Right. So yeah, guys, so this is it in terms of what we wanted to tell about MICAT exam. And besides that, I know a lot of you asked about, say, what are the cutoffs for the particular exam. So for example, MICA generally takes the cutoff from one of the exam which you might have given, be it CAT, XAT or GMAT, whatever, wherever you have scored the best, MICA will take that exam. And there are no sectional cutoffs for that. Like, it's only the overall score of CAT, XAT or GMAT is considered. And in MICAT also there are 2 exams, MICAT 1 and MICAT 2. You can, when in whichever you have performed the best, will be taken as for the scoring.
Yeah, so like Aarushi mentioned that there are various weightage. MAT is given, CAT, XAT or GMAT, whatever exam you're taking is given a 20% weightage, followed by MICAT, which is given a 30% weightage, and then GE and PI is given 20% and 30% respectively. To calculate the overall score. So here the catch is that basically your class 10, 12 or undergrad score doesn't really have any weightage. There might just be any questions in your PI if they want to discuss your score. But otherwise, these 4 sections shall cover your overall score to determine whether you get through MICA or not. And again, WorkX doesn't really have any weightage in terms of calculating your eligibility score to get into MICA.
Right.
Unlike other schools.
Right. And a lot of you have asked that what is a good score, for example, to have in CAT, or so to have in MICAT. So for the score of MICAT, it generally depends on your batch pool. So there's no fixed like a cutoff or the highest score which a person can get, because it's actually dependent on what other people are doing. But in our times,
Mhm.
obviously a score of 50 and above was considered very great. So obviously even if you are doing 45, 50, you have a fair chance of getting into MICA. And when it comes to CAT, also CAT that in CAT, if you have scored say 75, 80 plus, you move on to say what the fun part of MICA was, or how the committees are, or what our day used to look like in MICA. We would actually like to also tell you some of the tips which will help you in terms of the GE and PI. So when it comes to the group exercise, see, like when I was giving my CAT and when Kirti was also giving all the other exams, there was a time when, like, say for example, if we were going for any other B school, there used to be a group discussion where we were given a particular topic or a case to solve, and then the respective 7, 8 people used to discuss and put their point forward. In MICA, it's not like that. In MICA, it's a total group exercise, which actually basically you are given a certain task which you have to do with 7 to 8 other people who are there in your group. And there's no fixed criteria in terms of how they choose the people, like in the particular group exercise. But what you can actually do is you can be, say, in some of the parts, when I was doing my group exercise, I was leading also, but there were times when I
Right.
was letting other people perform. So I was actually having a mix of both. Coming to my group exercise, I remember we were given a task where there were 8 people. One of them got selected, other 7 did not. However, the one person who got selected, other people thought she did not have a chance, and then
Mhm.
scene 2 where we all were actually performing the group task. So it was like that. What was yours, Kirti, in your group exercise?
So mine was a lot of fun. So basically, we were given props also. We were given chart paper and sketch pens as well to perform it. So I think my topic was where I had to. The group of people were divided into two subgroups, and they were two political parties who need to campaign in a village. Where then again the two separate groups are deciding the leader, ki kaun kya, and also they were deciding the political agenda, what they want to promote when they go to the विलेज. तो काफी अच्छा था, हमने पूरा चार्ट पेपर में स्लोगन वोगन बनाया, फुल मोर्चा किया,
Yeah.
तो it was fun. So I think the only tip over here will be, since it's a group exercise, the panelists will not comment, not say anything, they'll just closely observe you. So just be a little proactive, and like Aarushi correctly mentioned, you participate, include others as well while the activity is going on. So I think they will try to understand a creativity, b what your thoughts or inputs are when you're discussing, what are the kind of things that you're saying. Yeah, I think these are behavioral traits, how
Yeah.
are you conducting yourself, and they'll probably just note down uh, some leadership qualities or whatever qualities. There's nothing specific
Yeah.
that we will tell you, but yeah, it is a fun. You will not feel that कि कोई ग्रिलिंग सिचुएशन में डाल दिया जीडी जैसा. बहुत मजा आएगा तुम्हें करने में, एकदम फुल
Yeah,
फन.
it's one of the most fun group exercises or things to I have been to.
Correct.
Yeah. So now coming to your personal interviews. So basically there will be a panel of 3 people. One of them will be MICA faculty, one will be a MICA alum, and third person someone from an industry. So these 3 panelists will take your interview, and it is basically up to you. Like here we would just like to tell you the basic interview tips. The interview is in your hand and you are having the steering wheel of it. So only mention those points where you are very confident, like you know it well. We would obviously tell you to know your CV in and out. You can have your great opening answers, but to take it forward, you should actually know what you're saying. So that is just one major tip from my side. Like, be prepared
Yeah.
for things in and out. That is it.
Like for example, तुझे पता है, what happened with my interview? So Kalolda sir was in my panel, and he just randomly asked my favorite subject, and I happened to say economics. You won't believe, next 2-3 questions were around economics. हमें पूरे interview में लग रहा है shit, ये economics के बारे में क्यों बात हो रही है, marketing college में मुझे जाना है मुझे. तो वही है, like you said, you just have to say I mean, direct interview, which is in your favor, but
Right.
I knew things what that he asked. Thankfully.
I know you
And हाँ, और जैसे कि for example I had mentioned in my CV that I had worked at Oyo, तो they asked me about अच्छा बताओ अभी Oyo ने क्या recent कोई marketing campaign किया है जो तुम्हें याद है, तो ऐसी कुछ चीजें होगी. Again, didn't feel like it was very grilling, mostly about yourself, about your educational background. Again, they would also try. I think for me, they really checked my passion for MICA, and thankfully I knew कि कौन से committees होते हैं, क्या है, मुझे किस में जाना है, क्योंकि I just wanted to go to MICA, so I was very well prepared in that area.
Yeah,
So yeah.
on the contrary, I had discovered MICA very late. Like I was in third year of my computer science engineering, and I was preparing for MBA, so that like once I am able to do my fourth year, I have some of a very great B school to go in. And I was like, I got a decent CAT percentile also. However, because I was like, I used to be a video jockey, and I am always this, like, I used to do a lot of creative things. One of my seniors suggested that MICA is the college for you. Like, she just came out randomly going somewhere. She told me like, MICA is the college for you. What are you trying? Don't try any other college. MICA is the college. So I got very excited. I came back. I was checking the website and everything. And I know, like, when I joined MICA also, the other people knew everything about the committees, everything about professors as well. I remember in my interview, Harmony took my interview, okay? And Harmony is all like, I was so impressed by her. I was like, wow, what a professor. And I had no idea who she is, because I had just researched enough to clear the interview, but I did not research it in and out, that who all are the professors. So Harmony took my interview, and later on when I went to my call, so I got to know that she teaches semiotics, and she was on leave also that time. I went and I was like, hi ma'am, do you remember me? And she was like, yeah, of course I remember. I got so excited, and then I tried my best to score good there in the subject she used to teach. However, like, as now that you have mentioned about the interview part, I remember I was asked about, so I had mentioned 2 3 startups, like one startup from my before undergrad, and one of the current startup which I was doing during that time. So they had asked me about, like, what all have you done, what was your passion behind starting all of this, and what is it currently doing? Will you be okay leaving your startup? Will you be able to continue it with MICA? And those were some of the questions which I myself was figuring it out at that point of time. But then I had been very honest in terms of what I said. Plus, I remember they also asked me about my father's business, like, will you be actually doing it? They were just testing me in terms of that, do I actually want this kind of way ahead? But then I had ensured that I pitch it in a way that it helps me get through MICA, and then somehow I came, and it was the best 2 years of my life. So yeah, so this is how it was.
Yes. I think there's no doubt about
Yeah.
that.